guess what? The University of Ghana Students Union or Law Student Union are celebrating 50 years of excellence. This is just a week to celebrate a good milestone, advocacy, student leadership, and all that it comes with. And joining me in the studio this morning to have the conversation is the president of the University of Ghana Law Students Union. He's in the person of Spencer Ado, as well as Edwina Nate. She's the head of Publicity Committee, and Nana Kofi Osei Owusu, head of External Affairs Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining me in the studio.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Great. It's been a lot of energy. We have started the celebration right here because just before we came on air, look, there was a lot of energy in the studio, and you missed out on that, especially from Edwina. Edwina, you have so much energy.
That's right.
Well, let me start off with you. Talk to us a little about what the Law Student Union is all about.
Okay, so the Law Students Union, let me start with University of Ghana first of all. So we all know that the University of Ghana School of Law was or is the first law school to have been established in Ghana. And so this union happens to be the first as well. So what the Law Students Union does, or what it is that it's a body that brings together the student community and forms a liaison between the students and the management, administration. It also empowers them academically, mentally, through all its activities. I'm sure Spencer would have more to say.
Spencer, you want to add?
Yeah, so basically the LSU also provides a platform for advocacy, as Edwina rightly mentioned, and basically brings out the best in students in terms of leadership development and what have you, basically seeing to the welfare of the students.
Right, so for you who are law students, what does this 50 years celebration mean to you? 50 years is a big deal, you know. So what does it mean to you?
Okay. So for me, the 5 decades of excellence, the growth of the LSU, to me basically talks about helps us to know where we have come from. 50 years is not easy.
Right.
So for me, the celebration is not just another year of Law Week. For me, it's basically a celebration of the past, the present, and the future, where we're going to as a union.
Interesting. Nana, what does that mean to you as well?
I think that it just puts everything in perspective for me, and essentially shows us that we as a batch of the class of 2025, we are just a microcosm of something a lot larger than ourselves. You know, the longevity of the union throughout the years for 5 decades and everything that it represents, and the entire student body across all of those years is just a testament to how endearing and just the sort of mark that the school and the union itself has left on legal education in the country.
Now, this Law Student Union has been in existence for 50 years. Year in, year out, there's a celebration. You're marking the 50th celebration. Edwina, you came into the studio with a lot of energy, the Gen Z vibe. Walk us through the theme of this year's celebration.
Wow. So this year's theme is honoring the past, empowering the next generation. As the theme, I should say, speaks for itself, we are acknowledging the work that has been done before us in terms of legal education and leadership. And we also want to empower the new legal minds we have that are coming up. If you look at the caliber of students we have these days in most law schools, and specifically in the University of Ghana School of Law, you can see there's a future for legal education in Ghana.
Interesting. Interesting. Speaking of future, we need to start from somewhere to get to that future we are all looking up to. But what objectives are we looking at in terms of this year's celebration?
Okay. So this year's celebration is dedicated to honoring the contribution of our Dean, Professor Raymond Atukuba. He's been so inspiring. He's done a lot for the University of Ghana School of Law. And for me, what does it for me is his vision to build for us a law school complex. The biggest law school to be in Ghana. And for me, I would like to use this platform to encourage all our viewers to help bring this vision to light, to support the Dean to make this ambition a reality.
Interesting. Now, for you who are students of the institution, I mean, you've been through the school for a while now, and I'm sure this is not your first celebration personally as students. How different is this year's? Because maybe people will say, or some of your members will say, we've seen this year in and year out. How different is this year's? Is there anything special that we should be looking forward to?
So there are a bunch of different things lined up for this year's LSU week. I could just like run us through what happened. So we had the launch on Monday. That was just this past Monday. And the launch was also followed by a career fair where we invited a host of different legal departments and law firms to essentially have an interactive session with the student body. There was a writing workshop that was done by ENS on Tuesday, and just yesterday there was a moots final sponsored by Benti and Chulecha and Ankoma, and today there's going to be a mental health talk, and I think it's also going to be a talk on AI, and a host of other things, even the dinner on Sunday. And I have to know that this particular year it has been really, really impactful for me because the student body has been very, very enthusiastic about a lot of the events. The turnout has been amazing. People have been coming, they've been supporting in their numbers. It's been really great, and it's just a testament to the solidarity that we as young students have and what that equally means for things such as advocacy and even things like inclusivity, because there have been a lot of discussions on people with disabilities and how we can better cater for those people in our society.
Now, you mentioned that the celebration started on Monday. When is it ending? And speaking of the climaxing, what you've done in the celebration week, what has been some of the memorable moments for either of you, or maybe highlights even before we get to the climax?
Wow. So I called this year's celebration the Law Week celebration because it's different from the previous years. And I'm sure everyone can testify to that. From the activities we had on Monday up until this point, I believe they've been very, very different. And for me, the most memorable moments happened on Tuesday evening. Okay. Like Nana Osei mentioned, we had the disability people being catered for. So on Tuesday evening, there was something called blind painting. This was where we were supposed to invoke our sixth sense. We were put in the shoes of our visually impaired friends in the school, and so we were blindfolded and people were made to paint. Some were made to use their less dominant hand, but for me, I decided to be blindfolded and walk into the law school. Yeah, and it was a really, really interesting experience.
Were you able to go through it without any feel?
Please don't laugh at me.
It was difficult.
So because I'm used to going to the entrance of the law school, it was easy. But I decided to challenge myself to go to the examination hall, and unfortunately, I was crying.
Wow.
Premium tears.
What about you?
I think I share the same sentiment. So they told me that, oh, Spencer, President, we want you to see how we have to come to the law school every day. So I was blindfolded and I was told to move from the bench area to the forecourt and to the lobby, and it was such a tax. And after, it's basically made me appreciate the fact that these visually impaired students, our friends, they are the real genius, because some of them are able to navigate around the law school without any help. Some of them know the number of stairs, right from the parking space all the way to the auditorium. It's very impressive.
Wow.
Very impressive.
Nana Kofi, what about you?
For me, still on the same tone of disabled people, I think I really enjoyed yesterday's session, which was the final of the moot final, especially one oralist who is a visually impaired person. I think Na Jilly Connie, she was mooting extempore. She had memorized all her arguments, all the cases, all the statutory and constitutional provisions that she was relying on, and the eloquence and the sophistry of her arguments and her ability to answer questions and then tie them back into whatever she was submitting on, and it's all happening how do I put this? Her doing all of that in her position was very, very inspiring to me, because it just showed me what determination can do, and just that it was basically a testament to human resilience. Because for most people, even with Edwin like that, she said she was crying when she was just blindfolded for a couple of seconds. Imagine having to go through all of that for your entire life, and you don't get to take the blindfold off. And her owning that and still not letting that stop her from achieving what she wanted to achieve was very, very inspiring to me. So I would say that seeing that happen was probably the most memorable moment up until this point for me.
You guys just talking about it has, I don't know, sent chills down my body. And I must say that maybe sometimes we don't even see the struggles these people go through every day until you try to walk in their shoes, because you can't really feel how they feel or get the full experience, because I mean, you are not in such a predicament. So I must commend you guys for taking part or trying to step into their shoes. But let's talk about contributions. How has the Students' Union contributed to the Law Week or advocacy as a whole, or the legal faculty or advocacy as a whole? Any of you can take this.
Okay. So, as Nanose rightly mentioned, we did the finals of the Bentiential Lecture and Ankuma Moot Court finals yesterday. And if you were there to see the students argue, the level of advocacy, intelligence, it's nothing but long weeks and days of hard work and resilience, because we literally did the prelims last week. We have just few days to the finals, but they were able to deliver the A's. And I think for me, it's not because it's my administration. I've been here for 4 years, and this is the best moot court finals I witnessed.
Now, you guys, it looks like you people have been having a lot of fun with the celebration. Are people who are not a part of the law school also invited to be part of the celebration, or is just strictly for, I mean, law students?
No.
So walk us through, if we are part, how do we take part in it? So what do we do?
First of all, like Spencer said, it's not restricted or limited to just law students. We've actually reached out to other departments in the school. When you come to the law school, our doors are really open to you. We don't discriminate against anybody. We don't say because you're not a law student, you can't participate. Everyone is welcome to come. You can even come and join us on Sunday for our dinner. I came a ticket. So
talk to us briefly about the ticket, and then let's call it.
Okay, so we have the single tickets and then the double ticket. Unfortunately, the early bird ended on Tuesday.
Oh.
The single was going for 250 cedis early bird, and the double was going for 500 cedis early bird. Unfortunately,
what do you have now?
What I have now is going for 270 cedis single and then 520 double. But just talk to me. You may never know what will happen.
Right. So thank you so much. You want to say something quickly?
This year's dinner will be happening at the Icon Event Center at East Legon. And we are so grateful for their sponsorship, the Icon. The Law Students' Union is extremely grateful. And this year's dinner is dedicated to honoring the Dean, Professor Raymond Atukuba. So he would be there with our lecturers. We intend to give him a special prize. So alumni watching, we would like you to grab a ticket at the University of Ghana School of Law, and then come, let's celebrate this memorable occasion. Right,
the dinner is on Sunday, 8th June 2025. Anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So we've been having a conversation about the University of Ghana Law School Student Week celebration. And look, I think I need to get my dinner dress ready to come join in the celebration. Thank you so much once again. We take a